Let's say prayers now. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, dhammam saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami. Dudayami buddham saranam gacchami, dudayami dhammam saranam gacchami, dudayami sangham saranam gacchami, tadayami buddham saranam gacchami, tadayambi dhammam saranam gacchami, tadayambi sangham saranam gacchami. Panatipada veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Kamesu miccacara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Suramiraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Amabandhi sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay. Yesterday we finished the 5-door cognitive series. Today we shall continue with mind-door cognitive series on page 130, no 130. So Manodwara Viti, mind-door cognitive series. So we give you a table at the top and we explain it below the table. Now, when one of the 6 senses enters the avenue of the mind door, so not just for beautiful sake, we write enters the avenue of the mind door. So that means if one of the sense objects appears in the mind door, we can say like that, Manodwara Viti arises. Because all the 6 sense objects can appear in the mind door. Now, Manodwara Viti may first be divided into 2 classes. 1, Kama Javana Vara Viti. Here, one of the 29 Kama Javana Chaitas takes the function of Javana, that is, enjoying the taste of the sense object. 2 Apana Javana Vara Viti. Here, one of 26 Apana Javana Chaitas takes the function of Javana. Apana means absorption. So, Jhana, Megha and Phala, they are absorption, Apana. So, only when we attain Jhana, Megha or Phala, then this Apana Javana Vara Viti will arise. So in ordinary daily communications, only the Kama Javana Vara Viti will arise. Now again, the next paragraph, Kama Javana Vara Viti may further be divided into 4 types. Into 4 types, just like the idle cognitive series are divided into 4 classes. So we can go to the next topic, that is mind or Kama Javana cognitive series. So number 1, Ati Vibhuddha Ramana Viti. So if you don't know the meaning, you just try to write above it. Ati Vibhuddha means very clear. So Aramana means sense object. So there is very clear sense object appears in the mind door. Then this cognitive series, Viti, will arise. Now this Viti terminates with the Dalamana. So it is also known as the Dalamana Vara Viti. Now you should compare this Viti with this idle cognitive series we have on this chart. So in the idle cognitive series, we describe the sense object strikes the idle at the arising of the Atita Bhavinga. If the sense object is of very great intensity, then it takes one conscious moment to develop itself, to become distinct at the idol. So we have one Atita Bhavinga. So if the Mahanta Ramana, it takes 2 conscious movements to develop itself, so we have 2 Atita Bhavinga. Now when the sense object appears in this idol, so we say the life continuum vibrates 2 times as Bhavinga, Jalana, Bhavinga, Pachira and cut off. Then Viti starts from here. So in the 5 door, Pancha Dwara Vajana is always the first consciousness to take notice and confront the sense object. And then like Chakku Vinyana, Sampadechana, Sandhirana, Vattapana follow. Now here in the mind door, we don't have any Atita Bhavinga. No Atita Bhavinga. That should need be mentioned here. The reason is the mind object, the subtle sense object that appears in the mind door includes consciousness, mental factors, nibbana, and concepts. In addition to the 6 sense objects, these sense objects also appears in the mind door. Now when consciousness, mental factors appear in the mind door, so we cannot say it is sense object of great intensity, or so we cannot say that. We can just say it appears in the mind door clearly or not clearly. So here we don't have the Atita Bhavinga. And another reason is, in the mind door is mental door. So remember Bhavinga Chaita functions as the mind door. So Pa-Auk Bhavinga, Bhavinga Chaita. So these are the Bhavinga Chaita, they function as the mind door. And the mind door is very powerful. And the mind door, as it is Bhavinga Chaita, one Bhavinga Chaita, the lifespan is just one conscious movement. It is not just like in the mental door, the material door here. So when we say like the eye door, ear door, their materiality, they last for 17 conscious movement. So we count from here to here, so these are 17 conscious movement. Like in the case of the mind door, it lasts only for one conscious movement. If you have to take the Atita Bhuyenga, then the mind already, it already dissolved. And the mind door. So when the sense object appear in the mind door, no chemical reaction is required. Like in material door and material object, they need the chemical reaction. The mind door is just like the mirror. As soon as you come in front of the mirror, your image appears in the mirror. Just like that. So we say, as soon as sense object, they comes to the mind door, they appear. So if they appear, we begin from here. So we say here, when the sense object appear, the Bhuyenga stream vibrates 2 times and vibrated. So here also, we get nada. We begin with nada. The sense object appears in the mind door, and the life continuum vibrates 2 times and cut off, nada. The same thing here. Now when the life continuum is cut off, we say cognitive process begin. So in the 5 door, so Pancha Dwara Vajana will be the first. But in the mind door, it will be Mano Dwara Vajana. So a Mano Dwara Vajana will apprehend or confront or take notice of the sense object. So it's the mind door, it would be Mano Dwara Vajana. So we give the symbol M-A, Ma stands for Mano Dwara Vajana. Chat number 1 later, put it. Now again, you just try to remember this chat. Chat number 4 here, we say that Mano Dwara Vajana, it performs 2 functions. One is avajana, apprehending, and the next one is vattabana, determining. So that means it apprehends the sense object, it takes notice of that, observe the sense object, and decides whether the sense is good or bad. So here is, so we only when vattabana, it decides whether the sense object is good or bad. So in the 5-door cognitive series, Mano Dwara Vajana is represented by the symbol Wo. Wo means Vattabana. So here in the mind, we just write Mano Dwara Vajana Ma, to distinguish, to differentiate between the two. Now we say here this Mano Dwara Vajana, apprehend the sense object and decides whether it is good or bad. Then after decision, so Javana Chita must follow. So we say after Vattabana, determine, then Javana and then the Dalamana will follow. So now after Ma, you get 7 Javana. So normally, the Javana Chita arrives 7 times. Not that Kama Javana especially. And followed by 2 Dalamana, just like here. So when the sense of act is very great intensity, the Dalamana arises. So in the mind though, when the sense object appears very clearly, Ati Vibhuta, very clearly, then 2 the Dalamana also arise. So after that, the cognitive process finish. The Dhamana is finishing. So after that, only Bhuyenga Chitta will keep arising. So we give the explanation on page 131. Explanation. We can just read the number 1, the explanation of this cognitive process. When the sense object is of very great intensity, the life continuum vibrates twice and becomes arrested, cut off. That is represented by nada, Bhuyenga Chalana, Bhuyengupacceda, on the appearance of the sense object at the mind door. So we say the sense object appears in the mind door. No, we don't say it strikes the mind door. We don't need to say. As soon as it comes to the mind door, it appears in the mind door. Then, when the Bhuyenga stream is cut off, then Mano Dwara Vachana, so represented by the symbol Ma, apprehends or take notice no, or confronts the object and directs the consciousness stream towards the sense object. Now it also observes the object and decides whether the sense object is good or bad. Now in accordance with this decision, one of the 29 karma javana chaitas performs the javana function for 7 consciousness movement enjoying the taste of the sense object. Then 2 dadalamana chaitas, so represented by Da, follow suit, enjoying the taste of the sense object further. After that, Bhuinga Chaita sink into like continuum. So that means cognitive, the series terminates. This viti is known as Ati Vibhuta Ramana viti or the Dalamana Vara viti, as it terminates with the Dalamana Chaita. So now, it should be clear to you now how the mind-cognitive series they occurs. They are simpler, simpler than the idol-cognitive series. And we don't have to count 17 conscious movement anymore. As we say, the mind they last only for 1 conscious movement. So you don't need. So after the cognitive process is finished, then Bhuinga Chaita will keep arising. Now you look on page 130 at the bottom for number 2 now. So we call it Vibhuta Ramana Viti. So Ati Vibhuta is very clear, Vibhuta is fairly clear. The sense object appears fairly clearly. So the Viti is just as number 1. Na Dhamma 7 Javana, the same as above. But here in the number 2, the Dalamana does not arise. Does not arise. The Dalamana arises only with the sense object appears very clearly. So now we described on the next page, number 2. So we can read, when the sense object is of fairly great intensity, the cognitive series occurs as above, but terminates with Javana Chaita without the Dalamana. This Viti is known as Vibhuta Ramana Viti or Javana Vara Viti. As it terminates with Javana, we call it Javana Vara Viti. Then we go back to page 130 at the bottom, number 3. Avibhuta Ramana Viti. Avibhuta means not clear. Not clear. The sense object is not clear. Or in other words, it is obscure. Obscure. So when the sense object, now as soon as it reaches the mind, it appears. So we also have nada. The life continuum vibrate 2 times and cut off, and then manodwara vajana arises. Now this manodwara vajana, as we said before, it performs 2 functions. It apprehends the sense object and then decides whether the sense object is good or bad. But now as the sense object is not clear, it's not precise, so it cannot decide whether the sense object is not good or bad. Good or bad. So, 2 more the Dalamana. So 2 the Dalamana, manodwara vachana, arises. So again, it retakes, re-apprehends the sense object and decides. And the 3rd time, again re-apprehend the sense object and decides. So it tried to decide 3 times. When we say yesterday, it is the same as page 126. You just look at page 126. So at the top, we described the Prita Ramana Viti yesterday. So the topic is on 125, of course. The Prita Ramana means Prita is slight intensity. So when this object is of slight intensity, so the 126 No. It's not 126. It's 124. No, 124. Sorry, I made a mistake. 124 at the top. The occurrence of Preta Ramana Viti. Now, when a visible object of slight intensity strikes the eyeball, so we give this Viti. And we say here, when the sense object is of slight intensity, it is not clearly. It does not appear precisely and clearly. So here, Votapana, war in the middle, war, decide, try to decide whether the sense object is good or bad. And we say it cannot decide whether the sense object is good or bad. So it cannot decide, so Javana Cheta do not arise to enjoy the taste of the sense object. So when Javana Cheta do not arise, Votapana arises 2 more times, we say, in place of Javana. So we have 3 Votapana, war, 3 Votapana. So after that it doesn't continue, only Bhuvinga Cheta arises. So now on page 130, at the bottom, the same thing. So instead of Votapana, now we use Manodwara Vachana, so we get ma. Instead of 3 Votapana, so we have 3 Manodwara Vachana. So as it cannot determine whether the sense object is good or bad, so no Javana to enjoy the taste of the sense object arise. So if the Javana does not arise, then cognitive process terminates, so only Bhuvinga Cheta keep arising. Now we describe on the next page, number 3. So we can read the number 3. In the Avibhuta Ramana Viti, the sense object is of slight intensity, and its appearance of the mind though is not clear, as in the above 2 cases. Thus, after the life continuum is arrested or cut off, Manodwara Vachana Cheta occurs 3 times, trying to observe and decide the sense object. But the object is not precisely known, and consequently no Javana Chetas occur to enjoy the taste of the sense object. So after that Manodwara Vachana, Bhuvinga Cheta sinks into life continuum. Then we go at the top of page 131, number 4, Ati Vibhuta Ramana Viti. Now this number 3, the number 3 Viti, as it terminates with Manodwara Vachana, which is also called Votapana, so we call it Votapana Vara Viti. Now on page 131, Ati Vibhuta Ramana, sense object is very the obscure, not clear. So Nana, that means Bhuvinga stream only vibrates 2 times and is not cut off. So not only Bhuvinga Cheta keep arising, so no Viti, no cognitive, no consciousness arises, and the sense object is not known. So as the cognitive process is deprived of cognitive consciousness, it is called Mogavara Viti. Just like yesterday. Yesterday we say the Ati Preta Ramana Viti. There only we get only Nana, and also we call it Mogavara Viti. So we read the explanation again at the bottom of page 131, number 4. In the Ati Avibhuta Ramana Viti, the sense object is of very slight intensity. It can only cause the life continuum to vibrate twice without becoming arrested. So no Viti Chetas occur, and the sense object is not known. And the Viti is called Mogavara Viti, as it is deprived of Viti Chetas. So we finish the mind or cognitive series. So we gave you the notes. I already explained these notes. So any question? So it should not be, so it is quite clear. So on page 132 in the middle, we have the new topic, Mindo Kama Javana, cognitive consciousnesses. Just like yesterday, we have to take the statistics. Now, what are the chaita that arise, and how many chaitas arise? So we read, in Manodwara Vittis, there are only 3 types of consciousness, namely Avajana, Javana, and Dadalamana. So you look back on page 130. Look back to that, the Mindo Kama Javana cognitive series, number 1, which is the longest. So in the Ativi Buddha Ramana Viti, we have only 3 types of the cognitive consciousness. So Nada, they are Bhuvinga Chaita, they are not counted among cognitive consciousness. So we count only Manodwara Vachana, Javana, and the Dalamana, only 3 kinds. Now, how many chaitas arise in that viti? So Manodwara Vajarana is 1, and Javana is 7, the Dalamana 2, altogether 10. So now we go back to page 132. 132. So we are discussing the middle topic. Now in the second paragraph of that topic, the number of chaitas in the longest Manodwara Viti is 1 Manodwara Vachana Chaita, 7 Javana Chaitas, and 2 Dadalamana Chaitas. Altogether 10. Now, what is the number of chaita that can participate in that viti? So Manodwara Vachana is just 1. In the Kama Javana Chaita, altogether there are 29 Javana Chaitas. And also the Dalamana, we have 11 Dalamana Chaitas, so the total is 41. So don't forget the Dalamana. Here we say there are 11 Dalamana Chaita, 3 Sandayana and 8 Mahavipaka. So we count the 11 Dalamana here. Now what is the interesting is the next topic. So we go secondary Mindo cognitive series. What we have described now, we call it primary. Mindo cognitive series. Now is secondary Mindo cognitive series. Now you read it. When one of the 6 sense objects enters the avenue of the Mindo directly, we get primary Manodwara Vittis as described above. So what we have just described is primary Manodwara Vitti. But there are secondary Manodwara Vittis which follow each and every one of the Panchadwara Vitti. So you understand that? So we say in the Panchadwara Vitti, after every one Panchadwara Vitti, so after this Vitti, so this secondary Mindo cognitive series follow. It follow. Now we read on. In a Panchadwara Vitti, the sense impression is processed only to the extent to be known roughly whether it is good or bad. The form, the shape, the detailed features and the name of the object are not known yet. So after this Vitti, in the 5-door cognitive series, so the the Mahanda Ramana is the longest, and it is the most distinct one. So even in this, the cognitive series, so now we say it involves only 17 conscious movement, consciousness. So 17 consciousness is very short, very short. So remember, I try to make you remember. So we say the chaita can arise and dissolve by 1,000 billion, no, in one snap. Now, if you divide 1,000 billion by 17 consciousness, you get 58 billion. So that means, even in this time, one wing or this, 58 billion, the cognitive series can arise and dissolve. So one cognitive series, the 17 consciousness, will be very short. So you divide this 58 billion, divide it just one. So, so we say the eye consciousness see it just a moment. Eye consciousness see it, and then that image that it sees is received by Sampadicana and investigated by Sandirana, and then Vattabana try to determine whether it is good or bad. So we know only what it determines. Whether it's good or bad, that's all. That's only we know. We don't know the detailed features yet. The detailed features would be, how is the body? How is the shape? It is fat, or it is thin, or it is tall, short? How are the eyes? How are the eyebrows? So this we don't know. Because you just know the sense object, just a general view. General view. So, it is similar to taking the photograph with the black and white film. So when you take the film, so the light, just one group enters the flame and then strike the flame, and then when we develop it, we get the negative. So in the negative, do you know who the person is? Who that person in the negative, do you know it? You don't know it yet. You can just know, this picture is quite clear, would be good. So you can just know like that. You don't know the detailed features yet. We can even don't know whether is that person is a lady or a man. Sometimes the lady also dress like the man. So only if she is in this side, and when we see the breast and the hip, and so we might say, maybe a lady, a lady we know. So we know just roughly. So after this, the cognitive series, we don't know the person yet. So we don't know the detailed features, and we don't know the name of that person yet. So we say, after this sense object, we say it dissolves here. It dissolves at the second, the Dalamana it dissolves, then Bhovinga Chitta arises. Now, Bhovinga Chitta will arise, say, about 10 to 15. Then the sense object that dissolves, we call it the past sense object now. It appears in the mind door. It appears in the mind door. So we say, in the mind door, the past sense object can appear, we say. So remember the other day we tried to discuss about it. After you watch the movie, we say when you sleep, you just keep on watching it again. So that means, the past sense object can appear in the mind door. Now we read on page 133 now. The second line. Thus, after a pancha dwara viti, a mano dwara viti quickly follows, retaking the sense object of the pancha dwara viti as a past object. So that means the cognitive series would be just like in the number 1, 2, etc. Wingo, Hudenga, Sharu the third edition Halimia, Gongong Halisha Piachendo. Page 130 ma Dwashida. Page 124. Page 124. At the top. So when the secondary mind or cognitive series arise, it will arise just like the primary, just the same day. So if the sense object appears very clearly in the primary mind or cognitive series, when it retakes it, it also appears very clearly. So this first one will appear. This cognitive series will arise at that time. So we say the sense object appears in the mind door again, and so manodwara vachana will apprehend it and decide it, and then 7 jhana will arise just like we show here. Now, when it retakes it, so we say, so it quickly follows retaking the sense object as a past object. It just retakes the object. That sense object that appears an idol, it dissolves. Now it retakes that object. So only retaking it. Now the next paragraph. Then the second manodwara viti follows suit, observing the new image and the old impression together. So now when it first retake it, we say it takes back that object. Now it again tries to look whether this retaken object is identical with the old object. So they put the two objects together, so to see whether they are identical. So this second manodwara viti. Now the next paragraph. Then the third manodwara viti quickly follows again, observing the form and the shape of the sense object. So some people ask me, what's the difference between the form and the shape? What would be the difference? The form and the shape, they are just about the same, about the same. Like the form or the shape of a man or a woman. So where it is light, wet or thin, tall or short, etc. So that is, it takes that feature now. Now we go on again. Then the fourth manodwara viti follows, considering the name associated with the object. If necessary, many manodwara vitis quickly occur in succession, considering the features of the object in detail, and also the time and the place connected with the object, if he has encountered it before. So sometimes, we have met a person before. Now when we meet that person again, now by looking at him, we recognize, oh, I have met him once, but we forgot the name. So when we forgot the name, you try to think in it. Not to think it. So when you try to think it, you may also observe his detailed feature, how he dressed, so what is how he smiled, how did he speak, so the manner, all this, you have to recall. So after thinking, where I have met him, so in connection with what did I meet him? So you have been thinking. That means all the past data in your mind door is now review. So review by your mindfulness. So where had I met him? Or in connection with, I remember when his name is what. So that means if you take 1 minute to remember to think of the name, during that 1 minute we say billions of the cognitive series will arise. Billions of cognitive series will arise. So taking when you say how's the eyes, 1 cognitive series. How's the nose, 1 cognitive series. How's the lip, 1 cognitive series. How's the breast, the hip. So you need many cognitive series actually. Only then you know the detailed feature. Then you know together with the name. So now the next paragraph. Only after these many secondary manodwara we teach does one know the object together with the form, the shape, the name, and other details. So we say at least 4 cognitive series must arise. And if necessary, there will be, like as I say, billions of cognitive series will arise. Now the next paragraph. considering the fact that chaitras can occur at a tremendous rate of more than 1,000 billion per eye wing, and if Manodwara Viti contains only about 10 Viti chaitras, more than 1 billion Vitis can occur in a fraction of a second. So we can know the objects we see or hear almost instantly. And we even think that we see and hear simultaneously. So when you are listening to me and you are looking at me, you are thinking you are seeing me and hearing me at the same time. So we think that, no, because, no, so in a fraction of a second, billions of chaitras can arise. So, no, some of these cognitive series take notice of, no, my appearance, and some of the cognitive series take notice of my voice. So, no, actually, when you hear, you don't see. When you see, you don't hear. But seeing and the hearing becomes very close, no, in a fraction of a second. No, you also see it, and after that you also hear it. You think you see and hear at the same time. No? Just like when you are watching the movie or the television, you think you see and, no, they hear at the same time. But you don't hear and see at the same time. No? Only the cognitive series occurs very quickly. We think that we see and hear at the same time. So that is the way how we see a person. Now when you see a familiar person, as soon as you see, you know. No, as soon as you see, you know. So the chaitra is so quick. Many billions, as you see, you know every detail already as you see, a person. And then the name also comes to you. So you think, well, as soon as I know, I see a person, I know his name immediately. No, so you can know that because we say the Viti arise very quick. So very interesting. Very interesting. That's the way we are seeing. Now I give you practical verification. So remember, the teachings of the Buddha are very scientific. So actually, the teaching of the Buddha appear earlier than science. 2,600 years ago, the teaching of the Buddha appeared. And we should say science is very Buddhistic. Instead of Buddhism is scientific. We should say science is Buddhistic, just like Buddha. So like in science, we have theory and practical. So when we teach in the class, we have to teach the theory first, and then we perform the experiment to show that in the experiment it really occurs as we describe in the theory. So the Buddha also he taught both principles and practicals. So these are the principles in Abhidhamma. All these are principles that. This principle, we don't say theory, because he already saw them. All this he saw by his divine eye. He could see all this clearly, all this. So in the case of Buddhism, it's not like in science. In science we say hypothesis first. Hypothesis is just assumption, and then when we find that it agrees with the science, with the experiment of fact, we call it theory. And only when we can verify it, many times we say it is a law. It's a law, we call it, like in science we call like that. But in the case of the Buddha, all are the laws. He already see how they really happen. He already observed them, and he described them here. And now the way he described is very systematic, we found now. So he also showed the practical aspect, so that you yourself can also observe as he observed. So now in meditation you have to observe all these cognitive series. No, you have to observe all these cognitive series in the six sense door. Not only five door, only the mind door. Not only the mind door, also the mind door. No? So some people they say, now after developing the jhana, how do you proceed to vipassana? No? How do you proceed to vipassana? So in the case of the Pa-Auk, he is well versed with the Tipitaka. No, he has read them many times. And when he give the lecture, he would say, so that name of the sutta and the pages, even the pages he would say. He learned by heart. He already knew all this by heart. So what his writing, his teachings are very. We can say it is very authentic, authoritative, because as described in the Tipitaka, he is speaking, he is writing actually. So when you come to the vipassana, so Pa-Auk used to say, you have to perform two types of kammatthana, two types of meditation. Meditation on materiality and meditation on mentality. You have to see all the 28, like in one person there will be 27 types of materiality. You have to see them first. And then you have to see all the mentality, the consciousness and mental factors that arise in all these six sense door, in the sixth sense door. So, and that is practiced in the Pa-Auk meditation center. And you should also, so we say, you have some idea of this book. So here I describe briefly, so how both the tranquility meditation samatha, that is performed in Pa-Auk meditation center. So after you attain the fourth jhana, so we also teach you four guardian meditation, and also the eight, the developing the eight, the jhana, four rupavaya jhana, four arupavaya jhana. So to make you skillful, to develop this concentration, then only we go to vipassana. So here, I describe very briefly and very comprehensively how we do the vipassana. And you should know the idea, at least you should have the idea. So if you go to one teacher, how does he teach? How does he teach the vipassana? So if it is not according to this, it is not according to the Buddha's teaching. This is according to the Buddha's teaching. So in the meditation on mentality, so you have to see all the cognitive series that arise in the six sense door. So of course you begin with the I door. So when you begin with the I door, the Buddha, the Pa-Auk said, now you have to see the I door. The I door is clear materiality in the pupil of the eye. You have to see that. And then you have to see the heart base. In your heart, in the blood of the heart. And depending on that heart base, Bhavinga Cheda keep arising. Bhavinga Cheda is the mind door. So you have to see the I door and the mind door. Now try to see a visible object, coming in contact with the eye. And you will see the sense object come in contact to the eye door and the ear door and the mind door simultaneously. So though we think the sense object appears only in the eye door, it's not that. It appears both in the eye door and in the mind door. In the mind door. So for the eye door, you get this eye door cognitive series arises after that. And after it dissolves, the secondary mind door, the mind door cognitive series will arise again. So this cognitive series, as we say, very quick, even in one step, billions of the cognitive series have already arisen and dissolved. How can we see them? That's correct. So They arise and dissolve this mind. No? Chak, billions of chaita already. No? In one step, 1,000 billion. 1,000 billion chaita, then various of the cognitive series already finished in one snap of the hand. How can we see? So, actually, if you think ordinarily, if you don't know how the mind works, then you cannot understand. You cannot understand and you don't believe that we can see them. So you don't believe. No? But you can see them. No? The reason is, as I told you, the mind is a supercomputer. Supercomputer. It is much super than the man-made computer. Much more the supercomputer, because it can store up uncountable the data. So unlimited amount of data can be stored up. So all these VT that arise in the idol, and then the secondary mind or cognitive series, they arise within 1 second. But when they arise and dissolve, so all these chaita that arise and dissolve are already put into the into the mind computer. In the mind computer, then you can recall this sense object, because they can reappear in the mind door. We say the past sense object you can be recall and it will reappear in the mind door. Now when you recall it and they appear in the mind door again, now you can see them with slow motion. With slow motion, one by one, just like we are watching the football game, the World Football Game, and then also the Premier League in London, like Manchester and Chelsea, they are playing. So boom, so the goal, it goes in the goal. The ball goes in the goal. We want to know who kicks it, how does it get into the goal, how does the goalkeeper miss it? So we like to know it. So immediately, the television, now it re-show it again. Now when it re-show it, it shows slow motion. So very slowly how the ball goes, how that person kick it in, how the balls come in, how the goalkeeper miss it, so we can see in detail. The same day. The same day. When you recall it in your mind, then you can watch one by one. Now what is that consciousness? like here. Now you can see the sense object striking the eye door, and now it appears. Now you can see like Goenga Jalana, Vingupachida, Panja, Dwarvijana, Sambrejana, Sandirana. So you can see all this mind. So first you have to see all this consciousness that take part in that cognitive series. And later you have to analyze each mind. What are the mental factors that associate with this consciousness? So they should agree with what we have taught in chapter 2. We say that the mental factors that associate with various chaita. So only then you can agree with the Buddha. What the Buddha taught in Abhidhamma is correct. It's correct. So you can see them. So they can be verified by you, and you have to see them. Only to know only that. What is happening in you? How do you know? How do you know? How do you react? How the minds are arising in you? So only when you know that. Not only what really exists is not the 6 types of sense object coming in contact with these 6 sense door. So when they come in contact, this cognitive series arising. And after they arising, so the jhana is enjoying the taste of the sense object, and then your action, your response to them. So the action arises. All these only this exists. Only that exists. So no person, no I actually involved in this process. Only Chaita, Chaitasika and the materiality. Only these, they are rising and dissolving. And we are moving the hand, all these things, and this the Chaita, it is that actually moves the hand. We think we move the hand. No, so I do not exist. So it's the Chaita that is moving. And now it's the Chaita that is speaking, not Dr. Mon. So not to get rid of that personality belief, thinking that I exist, you have to see all this. No, that's why we have to do vipassana, we say. No? So then only then you are convinced, oh, no I exists, no person exists. Only then you become enlightened as a stream winner. No, stream winner. Okay, now, no, so for the practical purification, no, you can come and undertake meditation here. No? So, okay, now then, we go to the page 134. So it is Mindo Apana Javana cognitive series. So Apana means absorption, and it refers to jhana, megha and phala. Now there are 26 Apana Javana Chaitas. So we enumerate that. No? So the Wingo Nane Pia Pilu Yabare. Page 134 so 10 pages to Ama. Oh, who didn't make count? Who didn't count? Oh, chat number 1, not the Chaita chat. Now you look at the Chaita chat. What are the Apana Javana? We say there are 26 Apana Javana. So, no, from this chart, what are they? Apana Javana are, we say, jhana, megha, and phala. So the jhana Chaitas are these, no, the Mahagata jhana are so this 15 and 12, 27 Mahagata jhana, no, the jhanas. So they are mundane jhana actually. So the Javana Chaitas are, remember we say it is ku, kri, phala. No, ku, kri, phala. Phala is this one. This vipaka is phala Chaita. So you have to take only ku, kri. No, ku, kri. So akusala is already finished here. So here we take this, the 5 Rupa Vajra Kusala Chaita. And 4 Arupa Vajra Kusala Chaita, we call this 9 together as 9 Mahagata Kusala Chaita. And 4 Arahats, instead of Kusala, Kriya Chaita will arise. 5 Kriya, the Rupa Vajra Kriya, and 4 Arupa Vajra Kriya, so we call them 9 Mahagata Kriya Chaita. So these are the Jhana Chaita, 18. 9, 18. Then we take 4 Megas and 4 Phala. So these are 8 Lokuttara Chaita. So if you combine 26 with 8, you get 26. The 18 plus 8. So you get 26. So now on page 135, we begin with 5 Rupa Vajra Jhana cognitive series. So we begin with this 5, 5 Rupa Vajra Kusala Jhana. So now we give you the cognitive series here first. Now Manda Panya means slow wisdom. Panya is wisdom, Manda is slow or dull. So it is for slow wisdom person. So the cognitive series is Nadama Pa-Unugoja. Now Tikha Panya, the next line, is quick wisdom. For quick wisdom person. So the cognitive series is Nadama and Unugoja. So pa is omitted. So when the jhana, it first arises in a person. It arises just one. So we have only one jhana Chaita. And after that, Bhovinga Chaita follows. So now this cognitive series, so Sozoga page 124 we tigo the champion bialu ya umla. Sozoga no the page Sharu Sozoga Hobi Tigao. Now, how do we develop Rupa Vajra Kusala Jhana? No, we can develop Rupa Vajra Kusala Jhana by Kasina meditation as well as by mindfulness of breathing. Now in the Kasina meditation, now we say first you make an address, put it on the earth, and you focus on that address and you meditate Patavi, Patavi, Patavi. No, so until when you close your eye, you can see the address with closed eye. So we say then you attain acquired sign. Now when you attain the acquired sign, then you need not look on the address anymore. No, you can go to the meditation hall. No, now you should not you should not let that acquired image disappear. If it disappears, you have to go to the address again. You have to reflect again. Now in the meditation hall, you just sit, and then with closed eye, as you have seen, the acquired sign, we also call it the learning sign. So now you keep on meditating. Meditating with closed eye. So Patavi, 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 Patavi. So we say, when you are meditating, your concentration will be rising. Now when you attain the access jhana, or we call neighborhood concentration. So at that time, all the jhana, the jhana factors become quite strong, and they can suppress the hindrances, the defilements, not to arise in the mind anymore. So at the state of the access jhana, neighborhood concentration, the mind becomes pure. The mind becomes pure. And at that time also, the acquired sign changes. So it becomes very clear and smooth like the mirror, and then very bright, like the evening star, like the sun, like the moon, very bright. So when we call this the counter sign. Some people, like in the books, they call it counterpart sign. Counterpart of that acquired sign, the counterpart of the acquired sign. So now you get the counter sign. The counter sign is clear, and clear, smooth, and very bright. The counter sign. So we say you have to expand it. You have to expand the counter sign. So may the counter sign becomes larger by 1 inch, another inch, another inch, another inch. So by your willpower, you can expand it. You expand it to fill up all direction. So we say, you get infinite counter sign. Now you just focus on that infinite counter sign. So always with closed eye. Because you can see only with closed eye those counter signs. With open eye you don't see them. They do not really exist there, though you see them. So when you open your eye, nothing there. So they are just the perception that becomes fixed in the mind. So you can see it. So again, now so when you are reflecting the counter sign, you attain the access jhana, we say. Now you already expanded now. Now that expanded counter sign, you focus on it and you keep on meditating again. Patavi, 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 until your mind remains fixed on that counter sign for 1 hour, 2 hours and more. Then we say you attain the first Rupa Vajra jhana. You attain the jhana. So now, when you are reflecting the acquired sign or the counter sign, what will be your cognitive series? What will be your cognitive series? So remember that that acquired sign, counter sign, they appear in the mind door. You don't see with the eye. You open your eye, you don't see it. So you are seeing with the mind door. So mind door cognitive series will be arising. And it will be only number 2. No, number 1 does not arise. Because number 1 arises, no, we will see later on, no, among the law. So only when you are watching the karma sense object, and when that karma object is of very great intensity, only then the Dharamana arises. Now in the counter sign, we say it is just concept. No, this counter sign is just concept. Acquired sign, just concept. So it is not the karma object. So no, in that case, they say you don't get the Dharamana, only no, this second VT will be arising. So when you are not reflecting on the acquired sign and counter sign, so this number 2, no, the VT will be arising. And what will be the Javana Chaita at that time? So what will be the Javana Chaita? Nobody know. Oh. So when you are meditating, we say moral minds arise. No, Kusala Chaita, it is Mahakusala Chaita. So there's at that time only Mahakusala Chaita arising before you attain the jhana. So while you are meditating, only Mahakusala Chaita, not associated with the 5 jhana factors, they will be arising. They will be arising. No? So only the Mahakusala Chaita this is. Now, when you attain the jhana, then the cognitive series changes. To that on page 135. Now you compare that the 135 with this second one. So in the 35 we say na dhamma. Instead of 7 jhana here, we have 5 jhana chaita. In the first cognitive series. So they are Pa-Auk nu ko ja. So these are the Javana Chaita. Instead of 8, we get 5. Now, what are these Pa-Auk nu ko? So, we read that number 1. Please read it. When the Patibhagana meter means counter sign. The counter sign of kasina appears at the mind door. The light continuum vibrates twice and becomes arrested. So, described by nada. Nada. Then manodwara vachana, adverts or directs the consciousness stream towards the counter sign, observes and decides that counter sign, whether it is good or bad. Just like we described on this VT, the same thing. Now in the next paragraph, then one of the 2 somanasa sahagatam jnana sambayutam mahakusala chaita. So mahakusala chaita, remember now, performs the upachara samadhi jhavana function 4 times in the person of slow or Tao wisdom, manda panya, under the names of Pa. Now, what is Pa? Pa we call Prikama, preparation of jhana. So, it makes the preparation so that the jhana can arise. U is upachara, so it is proximity of jhana. Proximity means neighborhood. So, it arises close to the jhana. Only that, upachara, close to the jhana. And nu is anuloma. We call it adaptation or connection between the lower chaita, that is prikama, and the jhana, the higher chaita. So It acts as a bridge, harmonizing the lower Chaitas with the higher Chaita. And then Go, no? Go is Go. So we call it Gotrabhu, the Chaita that cuts the Kama lineage to form the exalted or Mahakata lineage. So, no, these four Chaitas, no, so in the next paragraph, no, these four Chaitas are known as Upachara Samadhi Javana. They are also Javana Chaita, not Javana Chaita, but they are near the jhana, so they are called Upachara, means not near. So Upachara Samadhi Javana, so these four. They are Mahakusala Chaita, remember. No, or this Pa-Unugo, no, they are Mahakusala Chaita. And when you are meditating, no, and now the jhana is arising now. So that means, no, this Mahakusala Chaita must associate with wisdom. So it should be Jnana Sambayutam. And also it should be Somanasa Sahagatam. Because the first jhana, no, is Somanasa. So the preceding, the Upachara Samadhi Javana should also be Somanasa. So that's why we say in the second paragraph of that number 1, we say one of the two Somanasa Sagatam Jnana Sambayutam Mahakusala Chaitas perform the Upachara Samadhi Javana function 4 times as this Pa-Unugo. So you should please take notice. So this Prikama, Upachara, Nuloma, Kudrabu, they are Somanasa Sagadam, Jnana Sambayutam, Mahakusala Chaita. Mahakusala Chaita. So if you are meditating, so very the actively, so you are meditating very earnestly, it will be Asankharika Mahakusala Chaita. So if you are so you are not very active, then it will be Sasankharika Chaita. So that we say one of the two. So as you are doing the energetically, it will be Asankharika Mahakusala Chaita. Now, we Gotrabu. Gotrabu, what Chaita is Gotrabu? What Chaita? It is Mahakusala Chaita. So all these Pa-Unugo, they are Mahakusala Chaita. Mahakusala Chaita belongs to the Kama Chaita, Kama Vachara Chaita. You know that? Have difficulty again? So please show chart number 1. No? So when your Mahakusala Chaita arises, Mahakusala Chaita is among these 54 Kama Vachara Chaita. So up to here, this 54 Chaita, we are called Kama Vachara Chaita. So up to Gotrabu, Gotrabu is Mahakusala Chaita, so it belongs to the Kama Chaita. So we say the meditator is in the Kama lineage at that time. Now soon after Gotrabu, the first Rupa Vachara, Kusala Jhana Chaita arises 1. So as soon as that Jhana arises, Jhana Chaita is Megata Chaita. We call it exalted or more developed, the Chaita. So as soon as Jhana Chaita arises, we say the meditator comes to Mahakata lineage. Mahakata lineage, and that's why we give the meaning of Gotrabu, the Chaita that cuts the Kama lineage to form the exalted or Mahakata lineage. Mahakata lineage. So we continue reading. These 4 Chaita are known as Upachara Samadhi Javanas. In the case of a person of quick or bright wisdom, Tika Panya, Prikama is omitted or excluded. Now immediately after Gudrabu, Rupa Vajra Kusala, first jhana chaita arises just once as Apana Javana. Apana, after the dissolution of the first jhana chaita, Bhavinga stream flows on as usual. So you just take note of the above. No? We are describing the above cognitive series at the top of page 135. Nadhamma Pa-Unuko Ja. No? Ja is Rupa Vajra Kusala Jhana Chaita. No? Performed as the Jamana Chaita. Just one. And after that, Bhavinga Chaita arises. That means he comes out of the jhana. No? The jhana Chaita arises. Just one. So when Bhavinga Chaita arises, so Bhavinga Chaita is, we say for human being, it is Maha Vipaka Chaita, function as Bhavinga Chaita. So now he comes back to the Kama lineage again. So that means whenever the jhana chaita arises, he has to cut the Kama lineage to form the Mahagata lineage. Just like we say, Pa-Unu go, Gudrabu, cuts the Kama lineage to form the Mahagata lineage, and then the jhana chaita will arise. So if you understand this, number one, now the 2, 3, 4, 5 would be the same. So when for number 2 is for developing the second Rupa Vajra jhana. So we say after you attain the first jhana, you have to practice to be skillful in that first jhana. Only then you develop the second jhana. So when you develop the second jhana, you focus on that expanded counter sign again. You count that sign, you again reflect on it, Patavi. But now you don't allow Vitaka to arise in the mind. So you are eliminating Vitaka. So we just keep our mind fixed on that counter sign and just try to take note of it is Patavi. So if your mind can remain fixed for 1 hour, 2 hours or more, then we say you attain the second Rupa Vajra Kusala Jhana. So then the cognitive series will arise the same way. In the same way, so in here the jhana would be the second Rupa Vajra jhana. So number 2, you just read it. The second Rupa Vajra Apana Viti arises as above, allowing Rupa Vajra Kusala second jhana chaita to function as Apana Javana, just one. Then you try to be skillful in this second jhana, then you develop the third jhana. Again you reflect on the counter sign. This time you eliminate both Vitaka and Vichara. And now if you just keep your mind fixed on that counter sign, and if you can remain there fixed for 1 hour, 2 hours or more, so we say you attain the third Rupa Vajra jhana. So the same thing, cognitive series arise in the same day. Then you eliminate eliminate piti to go to the fourth jhana, and eliminate to the fourth jhana, and then you eliminate sukha to go to the fifth jhana. To go to the fifth jhana. So among the 5 Rupa Vajra jhana, the first 4 are they contain sukha, and so this sukha is the same as somanasa, pleasant mental feeling. But when you come to the 5th jhana, it is upekha. So up to the 4th jhana, the upachara samadhi javana mahakusala chaita should be somanasa sagatam. When you come to the 5th jhana, as the 5th jhana is upekha, so the preceding, the upachara samadhi mahakusala chaita must also be upekha. So now in number 5, at the bottom of page 135, you please have a look. The 5th Rupa Vajra Apana, the 5th Rupa Vajra Apana Viti arise as in one again, but instead of one of the 2 somanasa sakadam, jnana samyudam mahakusala chaita. Instead of this, one of the 2 upekha sakadam, So we change Somanasa into Upekha. Now one of the two Upekha Sagadam Jnana Samyudam Mahakusala Citas perform the Upachara Samadhi Jhana function 4 or 3 times, and then Rupa Vajra Kusala 5th Jhana Cita arises just one to function as Apana Jhana. So remember, the Jhana Cita and the preceding Upachara Samadhi Jhana Cita, they must agree in feeling. Somanasa, Somanasa. Upekha, Upekha. And also they must agree, Kusala, Kusala. And then in the case of the Arahat, instead of Rupa Vajra Kusala Cita, they are developing Rupa Vajra Kriya Cita. So in that case, the preceding Upachara Samadhi Jhana should be also Kriya. So you have to take Somanasa Sagadam Jnana Samyudam Maha Kriya Cita, instead of Maha Kusala Cita. And that we give in the note. So in the note number 3, we say immoral Jhana Kusala Cita is followed by immoral Jhana. A functional Jhana Kriya Cita is followed by a functional Jhana. So now we finish developing 5 Rupa Vajra Jhana. Now we can go to developing 4 Arupa Vajra Jhana. So you have already learned this, so now you can understand. So on page 136 in the middle, we give you 4 Arupa Vajra Jhana cognitive series. Now the cognitive series are the same as Rupa Vajra Jhana cognitive series, the same. So Manda Panya, Nadama Paunu Goja, the same. And Tikha Panya for quick-witted person. Now so in the first paragraph we can read, these we teach are the same in form as Rupa Vajra Apana we teach. But Rupa Vajra Jhanas are higher than Rupa Vajra Jhana in the degree of concentration, tranquility and sublimity. One has to use the 5th jhana as the base to step higher to Arupa Vajra Jhana, and also has to concentrate on an object which is not connected with materiality. In practice, one has to develop the 5th jhana first by meditation on the Patibhaga Namitta, that is the countersign of Kasina. Then he comes out of the jhana absorption. Now he ignores the countersign, which is connected with materiality, Kasina in this case, concentrates on the infinite space Akasa that exists beyond the Patibhaga Namitta, and meditates Akasa, space. When the subtle attachment to the Patibhaga Namitta, subtle attachment, my attachment to the countersign is eliminated, then that countersign disappears suddenly, and it unfolds. Unfold means expose, unfolding in finite space. Now, by focusing on this infinite space, he meditates on Akasa, space, and when the degree of concentration is high enough, Apana Viti will come into effect, will arise. So remember how we developed Arupa Jhana. So after you attain all the 5 Rupa Vajra Jhana, so you have to make the 5th jhana as the base, and then you go higher to this Arupa Vajra Jhana. And again, when you go to Arupa Jhana, you have also to reflect on the fall of materiality, especially this body. The fall of this body, the fall of materiality. And you have to cut off your attachment to this material body, your attachment to material body. So Arupa means no materiality. So because of this body, you are walking the whole life, just to feed, to clothe, to shelter this body. And now the body, so you have to, to clean it, so you have to nurse it every day, all the time. So when you have diseases, you have to, you have to take the medicine, all these things. So now because of this body, now you have the pain, you have the pain and many diseases, and also the insect bites, and the temperature, the heat, the hotness, all these things. So these are the defects of the body. So if there's no body, no suffering, that is connected with the body exists anymore. So actually you have to reflect like that. You have to cut your attachment to materiality. So only then you can develop the arupa jhana. So now when you are ready, then you developed the fifth jhana by meditating on that expanded countersign. Expanded countersign of the Atkasina. So you develop the fifth jhana as before. Now you come out of the jhana now. Now you are going to meditate to develop arupa jhana. So now this time you neglect, you ignore that countersign. So that countersign will appear in front of you. As soon as you close your eye, it appears. So now meditate on that, you develop the fifth jhana. Now though that countersign appears in your mind door, you neglect it. You don't pay attention to it. So what do you do is, you focus your attention on the infinite space beyond that countersign. That countersign. For example, I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to that person. So I neglect him and then I talk to them. So I neglect him. So the same thing. You neglect that countersign. And beyond that countersign there is the infinite space. So he didn't see the infinite space yet, but he visualized it. Visualize the empty space, and then he reflect akasa, space, just reflecting. So when you reflect for a bit, say for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, so when your mind become focused on that, the empty space, then your mind attachment to that countersign will disappear at that time. You forget about it. So when that mind attachment disappear, the countersign disappear. As soon as the countersign disappear, infinite space appears. Infinite space appears. So now you focus on that infinite space. Then you keep on meditating, the akasa, until your mind remains focused for 1 hour, 2 hours or more. Then we say you attain the first arupa jhana. Now, at that time, that viti that we show on page 136 in the middle, so will arise. So the description is on page 137. So we can read that description. When the object of infinite space, akasa, appears at the mind door, the Bhuvinga stream vibrates twice and becomes arrested. So it is represented by nada. Bhuvinga jalana, bhuvingu pachida. After that, manodwara vajana observes the object. The object would be the space, infinite space, and decides whether it is good or bad. Then one of the two upikha sagadam, jnana samyudam ha kusala cheta. So you have to take upikha sagadam, because arupa jhana sa upikha. So function as prikama, upachara, anuloma, and godrabu in a person of slow wisdom, mandam panya. Or as upachara, anuloma, godrabu in a person of quick wisdom, tikha panya. Then agasa nanja yarana kusala cheta arises once as apana javana, and Bhuvinga Chetas sink into life continuum. So again, arupa jhana arises only once, as the Javana Cheta, and then Bhuvinga Cheta will arise. So now he attained the first arupa jhana, So this jhana take akasa as its object, so it is called akasa nanjayarana kusala chaita. So after attaining the first arupa jhana, you go on. No, go on to number 2. And going up the ladder to second arupa vajra jhana, the meditator meditates on akasa nanjayarana kusala chaita. So, this akasa nanjayarana kusala chaita is taken as the object of meditation. So this akasa, why you are meditating again? So you already come out from this akasa nanjayarana kusala jhana. You already come out. But this chaita, we say, can appear in the mind door as a past sense object. So you focus on it, and then you meditate like vinyana. The chaita is also called vinyana. So you just reflect vinyana. Now when you can remain absorbed for 1 hour, 2 hours or more, then you attain the jhana. So this jhana, as it states, the vinyana is object, we call it Vinyananjayarana kusala chaita. So in the next paragraph we describe that. The object that appears at the mind door is akasananjayarana kusala chaita, which causes the cognitive series of bhuvinga chalana. So we don't describe in detail, we just describe the chaita. So in the cognitive series on page 136, you just look on it. Bhuvinga chalana, bhuvingupacceda, manodwara vachana, parikama. We omit this in Tikha person, and then Upachara, Anuloma, Gudrabu, and Vinyananjayarana kusala chaita will arise as apana javana, just one. Then life continuum flows on as usual. So second arupa jhana is called Vinyananjayarana kusala chaita, as it takes vinyana as its object. So when you go to number 3 to develop the third arupa jhana, now you ignores the akasananjayarana kusala chaita now. So you take nothingness as its object. So you reflect on nothingness, and then when you reach the jhana, we call it akinchanyayarana kusala chaita. Akinchanya also means nothingness. So in number 4, when you go to the fourth arupa jhana, this time you focus on that, the third arupa jhana that we call akinchanyayarana kusala chaita. You just focus your attention on that, and then you just meditate that jhana to be very subtle. So when you attain the jhana, so we say the fourth arupa jhana, which is called Neva Sanyana Sanyayarana kusala chaita, arises just once as apana javana. Then bhuvinga chaita sing into life continuum. So we have already described once how we develop this 4 arupa vajra jhana. So now we see the cognitive series, just as described here. So far so good. Okay. Any question? So we can go to page 138. Jhana attainment cognitive series. We call jhana samapatti viti. So samapatti means attainment. So when the person attains the jhana for the first time, we say that jhana arises only once, only one, and then bhuvinga chaita keep arising. Now you can practice to develop that jhana again and again. So, the advice is once you attain the jhana, so don't examine the jhana. So what you should do is to try to develop it again and again, so that to become skillful in that. And then try to also to develop five full skills, five skills in developing the jhana. So the five skills. So the first skill is we try to discern the jhana factors. That is that the jhana possesses. In the first jhana, you have all five jhana factors. In the second jhana, in the rupa vajra jhana, you have only four jhana factors. In the third jhana, only three. In the fourth jhana, only two, sukha, upekha. In the fifth jhana, you have only upekha, ekagata, only two. And all arupa jhana, they have only upekha, ekagata, two jhana factors. Two jhana factors. So, and after we reflect the jhana factors, the second the skill is we develop the skill to develop this jhana quickly. So as soon as you come out the jhana, you go out from the jhana and try to develop it again. So when you develop it again, you have to reflect on that on that counter sign again. For example, if you are developing the akasa nanja yarana kusala chaita, so you have to see that in finite space. In finite space, so you observe that in finite space again. So develop, try to reflect the akasa, space, so that when you are out of the jhana, your concentration is below the jhana. So when you keep on reflecting, your concentration rises again. So when you come to that jhana concentration, so the jhana chaita will arise again. So after it arises, you come up again, try to develop it, so that you can develop it. So in one instant you can develop it. So after you become very skillful in that, we say, you try to develop the jhana and try to remain in the jhana for longer period. So first you say, after you develop the jhana, may I remain in the jhana state for 5 minutes. If you are successful, for 10 minutes. Then again, if you are successful, for 20 minutes, for 30 minutes, for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 day, 2 days. So you can practice like that to remain longer in the jhana state. So when you are remaining in the jhana state, we call it jhana attainment. Jhana attainment. So developing the jhana and just enjoying the jhana for 1 hour, for 2 hours, or for 1 day. Oh, they say if you practice very well, you can remain in the jhana state up to 7 days at a time, they say. But in Pa-Auk Center, nobody can do that yet. So the Pa-Auk Sayadaw requires the teacher who are going to teach meditation. You must be able to remain in the jhana state for 3 hours. So in his so they try to remain for 3 hours. So if you just keep on meditating, you can remain longer and longer time. So for 1 day, 2 days, you can do it. You can do it actually. So this jhana attainment is actually to enjoy the jhana bliss, to remain in the jhana bliss for 1 day, 2 days, up to 7 days, up to 7 days. So now, page 138. We read again so that you, when you hear 2 times my explanation, and now what is written in the book, so you can understand better and you can remember, I hope. I hope you can remember them also. So twice. So seeing is better. So seeing, you can understand better. Now please read Samapatti means attainment. A person who has attained the Rupa Vajra jhana may enter the meditative absorption corresponding to that jhana whenever he wishes. If he practices well, he may attain the jhana absorption instantly and remain in the absorption for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, etc. Up to 7 days. During this absorption, the jhana citta occurs repeatedly and spontaneously, focusing the attention on the Patibhaga Namitta of Kasina. So he will not hear any sound, nor know any other sense object during the jhana attainment. So when you are in the jhana attainment for 1 hour, during that whole hour, only that jhana citta keeps arising, one after another. Not jhana, 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 jhana. So this jhana, they take the counter sign, not that counter sign, not the respective counter sign. So they just remain focused on that. So as it focuses on the counter sign, it knows only the counter sign. And it knows the jhana bliss that you are enjoying, the jhana bliss, you know it. But we say the five door sense activities. 5 door sense activity is seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. So these 5 sense activities are temporarily suspended. So you don't see anything with other thing, and you don't hear anything, and even the mosquito bite you. It is not very painful. Then you don't know it. You don't know it. So that is when you are in the jhana state. Now the next paragraph. A person who attains the Rupa Vajra jhana and Arupa Vajra jhanas may enter the jhana attainment corresponding to any jhana, but he must attain the first jhana first. Then by eliminating vitaka, he enters the second jhana. Then by eliminating vichara, he enters the third jhana, and so on. So there are altogether 9 jhanas. We say for non-arahats, we can develop 5 Rupa Vajra Kusala jhana and then 4 Arupa Vajra jhana. So if you attain all these jhana, you can develop any jhana. But the rule is just like climbing the stairs. You have to climb step by step. So you have to develop the first jhana first. And then come out, then develop the second jhana. Come out, develop the third jhana. You have to go like that. Now, the next, the jhana samapatti, viti runs as follows. For mandapanya, slow-witted person, nadama paunugo ja. So up to that, it is the same as jhana cognitive series. Now here, the jhana arises many times. Jhana, the jhana many times. So, and then for tikha panya, you just eliminate prikama. So it will be the same. Now for Rupa Vajra attainment, we give you the description. The Patibhaga Namitta of Kasina appears at the mind door, causing the life continuum to vibrate twice and become a restless nada. So remember, to develop this Rupa Vajra jhana, you have to recall that expanded counter sign of the Atkasina. You have to reflect on the Atkasina, the counter sign of Atkasina. So when that Atkasina appears in the mind door, then this cognitive series will arise. So nada, we finish nada. Then Manodwara Vajana observes the counter sign and decides whether it is good or bad. So ma is finished now, nada ma. Then Manodwara Vajana, we finish it, good or bad. Then one of the two, Somanasa Sagadam, Jnana Samyudam Mahakusala Cheta. And you have to take Upika Sagadam to enter the 5th jhana, remember. Now, this upachara, no, the Mahakusala Chaita functions as Prikama, and then also we omit this for Tikha Panya, no, quick-witted person. And after Prikama, Upachara, Anuloba, and Godrabu, 4 times. Then Rupa Vajra Kusala, first jhana, or second, third, fourth, or fifth jhana, whichever jhana that you enters. No? So that Chaita functions many times as Apana Javana. When the aesthetic absorption, no, aesthetic means the blissful, no, very blissful absorption is over, Bhavinga Chaita sink into life continuum. So jhana in the cognitive series, jhana many times, and then when you come out, Bhavinga Chaita will arise. So that is how we enter the Rupa Vajra jhana. So for Arupa Vajra jhana, you have to take, no, the corresponding sense object. So no, only Rupa Vajra jhana, they take, no, the counter sign of that Atkasina. When you come to the Arupa jhana, so for the first Arupa jhana, it takes, no, infinite space. And the second one takes this Akasa Nanjayana Chaita. And the third one takes nothingness. And the fourth one, it takes this Akinchanyayarana Chaita as the object. No? So the objects are different. So now we write in the for number 2 at the bottom, for attainment of Arupa Vajra jhana. The infinite space Akasa, unfolded by the disappearance of Pratibhagana meter, takes the corresponding object for the higher Arupa Vajra jhana. So we say in the Akasa Nanjayarana Chaita, this Chaita, you have to focus on infinite space. No? So when that, the counter sign of the Atkasina disappear, so we say, no, that infinite space arises. So you have to take that. And for the other, no, the Arupa jhana, you have to take the corresponding object. So now we continue, no, reading on page 139. So when that, no, counter sign enters the avenue of the mind door, that means appears in the mind door, causing the life continuum to vibrate twice and becomes arrested. No? That is nada, Bhavinga Jalana, Bhavingu Pachida. Then Manodwara Vajana observes the infinite space and decides whether it is good or bad. So ma. Then one of the two, Upikasa Gatam, Jnana Sambyutam Mahakusala Chaita, function as Prikama. We omit this Prikama for Tikha Panya person, and Upachara Anuloma et Kodrabu. Then Akasa Nanja Yurana Kusala Chaita. Or if you enter the higher jhana, you take that jhana, functions many times as Apana Javana. When the meditative absorption is over, Bhavinga Chaitas will keep arising. Okay. So we describe all the 9 jhana, the 9 Rupa Vajra and Arupa Vajra jhana. So we say if you are the successful to develop this 9 jhana by meditating on the Atkasina, then you can do the same with the remaining 9 kasina. So altogether there are 10 kasina. No? So we have the Atkasina, the water kasina, the fire kasina, the air kasina, and full kala kasina, and then limited space kasina and light kasina. So after you are successful in one kasina, then for the next 9, so you can finish meditation on one kasina in 1 day. So 9 kasina, 9 days. So then you get all these 9 jhana and all the 10 kasina. Then you try to practice, developing this jhana very quickly on these all the kasina. So we omit the limited space kasina. We use only the 9 kasina. So try to develop this jhana in many ways. So until you become very skillful. That means the concentration becomes the top. It becomes the top now. then you can develop supernormal power. No, supernormal power. So now we describe on page 139. No, so supernormal knowledge, cognitive series. No? Now if you please read that paragraph again, to make you familiar. Those who have attained all the Rupa Vajra jhanas and all Arupa Vajra jhanas on 10 kasinas may practice further according to the instructions given in Visuddhi Magga to attain the 5 Lokiya Abhinya, mundane supernormal knowledge. So Visuddhi Magga book is this, no? So here also I describe how to practice. No, I describe them. Okay. These supernormal powers are attainable through the utmost perfection in mental concentration. Very good, no? Utmost perfection in mental concentration. And they are related to the higher knowledge associated with the fifth Rupa Vajra jhana. So when we developed the supernormal power, we have to take the fifth Rupa Vajra jhana as the base and then develop supernormal knowledge. And that supernormal knowledge actually arises associating with this fifth Rupa Vajra Kusala Citta. It associates with this. Now what are the 5 mundane supernormal power? Number 1 is Adivida Abhinyana. We call it various divine powers. So he can demonstrate various divine powers, such as being one. He can become 100, 1,000, that is manifold. And having become manifold, many person, he again becomes one person. Without being obstructed, he passes through walls and mountains, just as through the air. So, that means. So you may question, how can you pass through this this brick wall? How can you pass through it? Like in big mountain, you walk through it. How can you do it? It is just nobody can go through it. So that is when the psychologists say the mind is very powerful, they say the mind is very powerful. If you really believe it, you can do it. If you don't believe it, you cannot do it. Now we don't believe that we can go through, so you cannot go through. If you believe you can go. So when you develop supernormal power, you really believe it. You really believe it. So the way they go through the mountain and through the worlds is, so if you want to go through the worlds, you have to develop the fifth jhana by meditating on space. On space. On space. So so you come out of that jhana, the fifth jhana. Now, when you develop the fifth jhana on space, what you are concentrating on is just space. Space means emptiness, nothingness, emptiness. Then you make a determination of the wish. So let there be space. Say however big the space you want to. Say 6 feet in diameter. Let there be a space 6 feet in diameter in this world. So when you have to believe, you have to see it as a space, as a space there. Now taking that space as the object, then the fifth Rupa Vajra jhana arises again. As soon as the fifth Rupa Vajra jhana arises again, it associates with supernormal knowledge. So as soon as that jhana arises, there's space. So for him, he saw space. So he believed that is space. So he just walked out. No? So they can also dive into the earth. How can you dive into the earth? So now, no, they develop the fifth jhana in water kasina. So, no, water, they take the water as their object. Then, after they come out, no, from that fifth jhana, then they make, no, the wish. May there be water, no, in this earth. So you can see, no, say, how do you like, no, the diameter? Say 6 feet. So how deep you want it? 10 feet, 20 feet. So may that, that earth be water. May there be water. So as soon as that the supernormal knowledge arises, to you it becomes, the water. To you the water. So you can dive under it. You can go by it. No? And you can bathe on one it. You can even drink water over it. No? So you can do that. For other people it's just earth. For other people, just earth. So even the car is going on over that. The car is going on over that, but for him, he can dive over it. So, like, we have heard stories. They said, some the Hindu ascetics, like in India, the Hindu ascetics, they can remain under the water, that is under the river. Not even say for 7 days, they can remain there. And they can be buried under the earth for 7 days. For 7 days. So, for us, how can it be? No, so how can you breathe underwater? No, so you will die, so I would say. So again, not just like when we get this supernormal power. No, you just make a wish. Let there be space. No, so space, however big you want to, you visualize it. No, under the water. So for other, they think that you are sleeping under the water, but actually you are sleeping in the space that you created. Under the water, the space there, so you can breathe in there. You don't die. And they can also live in the mountain. So there's a mountain, is even the rock mountain. So now they have no place to stay. Now they want to stay in the mountain. So they just make space in the mountain, and then they sleep overnight there. You come out the next day. Unbelievable. So they say, don't question about supernova power. You cannot understand. You cannot understand. They said, don't think about it. They said, how you can. But if you want to test, so you come and meditate. You can develop yourself. So during the times of the Buddha, so many arahats, they develop this supernormal power, this 5 mundane supernormal power. Like as I said the other day, did I tell you about the Chulapanna? No, Chulapanna. So remember. So as soon as he became, he got all these, the 6 supernormal power. 6 supernormal power. So if they attain them, then they can demonstrate like that. So Chulapanna can fly in the air. He created 1,000 persons, identical to himself. So when he created for others, so it seemed to be real monk, 1,000 monks in the monastery. But then he became one again. So, okay. Now we continued. We read that the number 1. So, in the earth he dives and rises again, just as if in water. He walks on water without sinking, just as if on the earth. Cross-legged he floats through the air, just as a winged bird. Just like Chulapanna. He floats in the air. Now number 2 is Dipa Sota Abhinyana, is divine ear. that can hear sounds both heavenly and human, far and near. So if you attain this divine ear, you don't need a handful. No? So you can hear every person who speaks. No? So what is the American President Obama is speaking, you can hear. So you don't need any phone. So you can even hear voices from celestial being. So you can, if you have your divine eye, divine ear, you can even talk to them. No? So now number 3 is Dipa Chakku Abhinyana, divine eye, that can see objects both heavenly and human, far and near, hidden or exposed. It can see beings in the lower abode, that is woeful abodes, as well as in celestial abodes. It sees beings vanishing and reappearing. So that means those who are about to die in person, and then they vanish, that means they die. And then where they appear, so they can see them. And low and noble ones, beautiful and ugly ones. It sees how beings are reappearing according to their deeds, karma. So when they could see all woeful beings, and then all celestial beings, and what are the karma that produce this existence, they can see. Now number 4 is Prachita Vijnana Abhinyana. It is also called Cheto Priya Jnana, the ability to know others' minds in many ways, or to penetrate the minds of others, to read their minds. So just by looking at a person, you know his intention. What is his intention? What he intends to do, what he intends to go. So you can read. And number 5, Pubbe Nivasa Nosati Abhinyana. The ability to remember manifold, means many former existences, such as 1 birth, 2 births, 3, 4, 5 births, 100,000 births, or to remember many formation and dissolution of worlds. So that means not only your past existence, you can also see the former worlds, not the worlds, not those, or how they are formed, and then how they are destroyed. And then there I was. So you can see yourself in that existence. Such a name I had. And vanishing from there, I enter somewhere else. So I become the next existence. And then vanishing from there, I again reappear here. So one existence for another. So you need not watch television anymore. Just keep watching your past existence. What you do, what you see in your past existence. So it will be quite interesting. Now the Abhinyana Viti is of the form. Nadama Pa-Undugo. So instead of jhana, we have Bain. Bain means here Abhinyana, supernormal knowledge. And of course, this supernormal knowledge associated with that 5th Rupa Vachara Kusala Jhana. So the wisdom only cannot arise. So wisdom, Panya is just a mental factor. It associates with the Chitta. So the Chitta is the 5th Chitta. So this the supernormal Viti is the same as the Jhana Viti. So instead of the jhana, we just put down the abhinyana. Now we read, suppose a person who has attained mundane supernormal powers want to become many persons, many fold mean many persons. He meditates on the Pathavi Kasina, on that countersign, and develops the Rupa Vachara Kusala 5th jhana for a few moments. Then he comes out of that 5th jhana, absorption, and having arrested his life continuum, makes a will. So now we are showing that having arrested his life continuum means he cut off his life continuum, and then he makes a wish. Of course, when he makes a wish, the life continuum is already cut off. Now the wish is, let there be 1,000 identical but separate forms of myself. So what you want to create there, you can make a wish. Let there be, say 50, the hamburgers, 50, cups of ice cream for these people. So now you can create like that. Now he has complete confidence in his will, and the nimitta forms, that appear in the mind door, you just visualize what you want to create. So that you visualize what you want to create, that object appears in the mind door now, causing the life continuum to vibrate twice and become arrested. Now we are describing that the Abhidhamma Viti. So nada ma, now become nada, life continuum vibrates twice and become arrested. There will be nada. Then manodvara vajana observes that namitta form, that the visualized form, and decide whether the visual object, whether those objects are good or bad. That is manodvara vajana ma. Then one of the two upekha sagadam jnana samyuttam mahakusala chaita. Because the fifth jhana must arise, so you have to take upekha sagadam mahakusala chaita. Functions as prikama, upachara, anuloma and godrabu. So that describe Pa-Auk. Then observing the 1,000, the namitta form that he wants to create, the rupa vajra kusala fifth jhana arises once, functioning as abhinya javana. So that means this fifth jhana associates with the supernormal knowledge. Then Bhuvinga Cheta follows up, and the person comes out of the jhana. So that abhinya viti is completed. Now, as soon as abhinyana javana occurs, that being abhinyana javana occurs, the 1,000, the created forms come into existence. So that's the way how they develop supernormal power. So the mind is very powerful. So even the mundane mind becomes very, very powerful. So when we know about the mind, like the Buddha said, the mind actually creates all living beings in all 31 planes of existence. All 31 planes of existence, all those Brahma and the woeful persons, celestial beings, they are all created by the mind, by their respective mind, that is. So that means if you can develop the jhana, when you die you become Brahma. So if you the committed the evil deeds like killing your mother, when you die you will be born in the woeful boat, in the Avijik hell, not the worst hell there, you will be born there. So the mind is actually determining or create all this person. And the mind actually determines your fate and destiny. And that is why I described how you yourself can control your fate and destiny here in this book. So the mind actually, it creates various beings through karma property. Through the karma property. So, and also the fate and the destiny are also determined by the karma. So it's good to know this. How are we born? Why are we born? So what is the purpose for our birth? For your born, for being born. What is the purpose? Now, any one of you can tell me, what is your purpose in life? Being alive in life.
13 plus Srimila.
13?
Srimila.
What do you say? or to attain Sotapanna. So that would be a good objective. A very good objective. No, so if you think, oh no, you want to become celestial being, the rich human being, just to enjoy sense pleasure, then you will be wrong. No, you will be wrong. No, so, oh, my purpose in life is to become an engineer, to become a medical doctor. So that is just temporary. Not just temporary. You have to go many existences. Many existences. This existence is just one link in the billions of existence. Just one link. No, so what? All you are wishing like the mundane wishes. No, they are just for this life. So not for this life. What is important is so for all for the future lives, to be born in the blissful realm, to be not to be born in the woeful realm. So that should be our objective, and to do that is to become a noble person. No, so now we have the best chance to meditate, and it is the most important thing in life to do this meditation. All the other things are actually not important. No, if you have enough to eat, so now if your father is rich, you have to do nothing. What you do need is just meditate to become a noble person. No, why we have the chance to become a noble person. Okay, so now, I think we can continue with one topic on page 141. But absorption cognitive series. So, Megha Apana Viti. So, those who undertake insight meditation, meditate on three characteristics of existence, we call Tilakkhana, namely impermanence, nature, suffering or misery, dukkha, and not self, anatta. After developing 10 insight knowledges, vipassana jnana, the realization of the path and its fruition, Megha and Phala, follows up. So there are 4 levels of Megha and Phala. So the Megha Apana Viti run as follows. Again, for Manda Panya, for slow-witted person, na Dhamma, Pa-Auk nu go, instead of jhana, now we have Megha. So the same as the jhana cognitive series. So instead of jhana, we just put in Megha. And now this Megha, as soon after it arises and dissolves, it produces its effect, its result. So we say like in the here, so as soon as you get Lokutara Kusala Cheda arises, Lokutara Vipaka and Phala, they mean the same thing. So arises immediately. So we say after Megha, Phala, so Cheda arises. So then Bhuvinga Cheda arises. So that means this process finished. So the person also become a stream witness. So how quick, how easy you can become a stream witness? Just develop this. If you can develop this cognitive series, then you become a stream witness. So for Tikha Panya, you just omit Prikama. And then after Megha, you have 3 Phala Cheta will arise. And then Bhuvinga Cheta will arise. So we say, to develop this, the Megha Viti, Megha Viti, the Megha Apana Viti, we have to undertake Vipassana. We have to undertake Vipassana. So again, as I said, to do Vipassana, you have to undertake tranquility meditation first, the samatha bhavana, to develop the right concentration. The right concentration. So the Buddha, in the Mahastipatthana Sutta, the most important meditation sutta actually, Mahastipatthana Sutta. So there definitely the Buddha, he said very clearly, he said the right concentration is the concentration associated with 4 Rupa Vajra Jhana. So the 4 Rupa Vajra Jhana is the best for undertaking Vipassana, especially the 4th Jhana. It's the best. So we say after you attain the 4th Jhana, now you come into Vipassana. You have to analyze body, body and mind into ultimate mentality and ultimate materiality. You have to see all these, the cognitive series, to see the mind that arise in you and analyze them, so to know consciousness and mental factors. And you have also to break down this body into material group and analyze this material group to know 27 types of materiality. So that is done in this, the Pa-Auk Meditation Center. So after you know all this mentality, materiality, then you already attain the first insight knowledge, not the 5 yet. You attain the basic, the insight knowledge, we might say. Nama Rupa Paricheda Jnana. That is the wisdom to discern mentality and materiality clearly, to discern them. And then the second thing is you have to see the causes that give rise to this mentality and materiality. So you have to find the causes, just like we say for this cognitive series to arise. You need 4 causes for each. For idol, for the idol cognitive series, the idol must be good, visible object must be present. So when they come in contact, if the light must be present and manasikara must be present, then the idol cognitive series arises. So for materiality also there are causes, karma producing this, karma born materiality, chitta producing mind born materiality, uttu is heat producing materiality, and the oja is nutriment producing materiality. You have to see them. Now after seeing these causes, these are we call the immediate causes. You have to know the major important causes. That is dependent origination. We are going to learn it in chapter 8, the dependent origination, we call Paticca Samuppada. That describes your life after life, how you are born again and again. So you have to discern that causal relation. That means you have to see your past existences, your future existences, and causal relation from these existences. So you have to do that before you perform Vipassana. So only then you get this second, the basic Vipassana knowledge. We call it Paccaya Parikaha Jnana. So the wisdom, the knowledge that discern the causes of all this mentality, materiality. Then you undertake this Vipassana. Vipassana reflecting on these 3 characteristics, anicca, dukkha, anatta. So if you cannot reflect on them very skillfully, then we say you attain the first insight knowledge. That is, the seeing mental and materiality as 3 characteristics, arising and dissolving, and having those 3 characteristics. We call it the first insight knowledge. Okay, now we know the cognitive series. So now we read how this cognitive series arises. When one of 3 characteristics of existence enters the avenue of the mind door of a Puthujjana is walling. Walling means one who is bound by all 10 fetters. So when he walling, as he walling, we undertake Vipassana. So when we take Vipassana, we have to reflect on anicca, impermanence, dukkha, suffering, anatta, non-self. So one of these, the characteristics appear in the mind door, a mind door of the walling. Then the life continuum vibrates 2 times and become arrested. So that is represented by nada, puvinga chalana, puvingu pacheda. Then observing and considering the characteristics of existence, Manodwara Vachana arises once. No? So, Manodwara Vachana apprehends the characteristic sign and determine whether it is good or bad. Now, that is not Dhamma. We finish that now. Now we continue with Pa-Auk. Then one of the four jnana sambayutam, Mahakusala Chaita, observing the characteristics of existence. Now again, that anicca, dukkha, anatta, functions 3 times as prekama, no, pa, upachara, anuloma, nu. And then observing nibbana, functions once more as kodrabu. So, no, that shows how what is the meaning of Pa-Auk. No, Pa-Auk. So in these, no, 4 they are all Mahakusala Chaita. But here we don't differentiate the Mahakusala Chaita as Somanasa or Upekha, because the Lokuttara Chaita can associate with both, or they can associate with Somanasa or Upekha. So, when you are undertaking vipassana, your mind can be Somanasa, Mahakusala Chaita, or Upekha, Mahakusala Chaita. So it can be put the two. If you are doing very joyfully, it will be Somanasa, Mahakusala Chaita, will be arising. Now, that Chaita functions as prekama, upachara, anuloma. So here it is taking that the characteristic sign, anicca, dukkha, anatta, is of its object. And because of that, we call them vipassana jnana. The wisdom that associates with them is vipassana jnana, and that is the wisdom that associates with prekama, upachara, and anuloma. Now, in the case of Godrabu, it takes nibbana as its object, Godrabu. And remember, Godrabu is Mahakusala Jnana Samyutta Chaita. And this is at the time when Mahakusala Jnana Samyutta Chaita can see Nibbana. Only at this time. So the Mahakusala Chaita can see Nibbana. We continued. Then without any lapse in time, so after Godrabu, without any lapse in time, the Prush, Then Sotapatti Megha Javana arises once, observing Nibbana. So Megha Chaita always arises one. Then without any lapse in time, the fruition of the Megha, that is Sotapatti Phala Chaita, functions twice as Apana Javana. So we say we get Megha Phala Phala. Then Bhuvinga Chaita sink into life continuum, and the person comes out of Megha Viti. If the person is Tikha Panya, quick with that person, Prekama is omitted and Phala Javana occurs 3 times. Now we give you the note. In the above Megha Viti, Prekama, Upachara, Anuloma, and Godrabu signify the following things. Now, Prekama is preparation of Megha. So in the Jhana Viti, we call it preparation of jhana. But here in the Megha Viti, we call it preparation of Megha. U is upachara, proximity of Megha, so it arises near the Megha. Nu is anuloma, adaptation or connection. It harmonizes the lower Chaita with the upper Chaita. So the same as in the Jhana Chaita, they give the same meaning here. Instead of jhana, we just change into Megha. Now, Godrabu is the Chaita that cuts the Pudujana. Pudujana is walling lineage to form the Ariya lineage. Ariya means holy person or noble person. So, in the Jhana, we say Godrabu cuts the Kama lineage to form the Mahekata lineage. So, now in the Megha Chaita, up to Godrabu, it is Mahakusala Chaita. So the person is still evolving. Now soon after Godrabu, Megha Chaita arises. As soon as Megha arises, he's no noble person. No noble person already. No Megha Chaita arises, and then Phala Chaita arises, he becomes extreme winner. No? So that is how, when you do the vipassana, no, this is the way how you are when you attain nibbana, so the Megha Viti will arise in this way. No? So we continue on page 142. Once a person becomes a noble person, he is never rebutted back to evolving again. So in the case of the jhana, as soon as you come out of the jhana, you come to the karma lineage again. So when you develop the jhana, you have to cut the karma lineage again, that Godrabu must arise. But here, once the Godrabu cuts the falling lineage, you become a noble person. You will never be reverted back to evolving again. So thus Godrabu has to cut Pudujana lineage only once. So in later Megha and Phala Viti, Vodana, Vodana, meaning purification, is inserted in place of Godrabu. No? So when we write the Megha Viti is just as shown on page 141. Nadama Paunu Go Megha Phala Phala. Now we remember this is only for Sotapaddi Megha. When you go to higher Megha, instead of Godrabu, you have to say Vodana. No, you have to change Go into Vodana, meaning purification. So for 2, 3, 4, you can read by yourself. We can continue tomorrow. The time is up now. So now we say prayers. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Buddham Bujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Dhammam Bujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Samgam Bujemi. With our holy practice, which is in accord with the 9 supramundane Dhammas, we pay obeisance to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Idam me punyam aswekaya vaham hotu. May these merits of mine lead me to the extinction of all defilements. Idam me punyam nibbanasa paccaya hotu. May these merits of mine be conducive to my attainment of Nibbana. Imam na punya bhagam sabba saddhanam dema. Imam na punya bhagam sabba saddhanam dema. Imam na punya bhagam sabba saddhanam dema. We share our merits with all sentient beings. May all sentient beings obtain the share of our merits and be well and happy always. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May you be happy and well always, and may you attain enlightenment very soon. Do anyone have any question? So the other day, the one gentleman asked me. He said, why in the jhana chaita and the Megha chaita we don't have the Dhalamana? Why we don't have the Dhalamana? That's one question. So here the Dhalamana is only 3 Sandirana chaita and Mahavipaka chaita. So we say the Dhalamana arises only in karma person, when they are taking karma objects, And only when the object is of very great intensity, only that. No, so they don't arise in the jhana citta, and in the like the mega viti, they don't arise. And they don't need to arise in the jhana citta, because in the jhana citta we say, no, when you develop the jhana attainment, so the jhana arises many times. That is enjoying the taste of the jhana, no? the taste of the jhana. So, like we say, the dharamana is just to continue to enjoy the taste of the taste of the sense object, in continuation of the jhana citta. So, like in the jhana, you can remain up to 7 days just enjoying that jhana bliss, and the same thing in the when you attain mega and phala. Again, you have the fruition attainment. Fruition attainment means you can remain in the fruition, phala citta arising, for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 day, 2 days, up to 7 days. That is, you are enjoying nibbana bliss for 7 days. No, so we don't need dharamana in those chada and the mega. Okay.